Alrighty.
And we are live. Perfect. So welcome back. We have Caleb and Caitlyn here from Market House Podcast, and we'll let you guys do a little intro and everything in a moment. But for starters, we're going to do a little Disney this or that, which I don't think I'll let you guys know. Just while people jump on live, give everyone a chance to hop on here. If you are watching live already, welcome, and jump in the comments if you guys have your own opinion that you want to share as well. Okay, so I am just going to my little cheat sheet here.
I'm excited. I'm ready for this.
Okay. Are you ready?
Think so.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first this or that is the swinging gondolas or the stationary?
Oh.
Stationary.
I was going to say stationary.
Yeah.
The swinging gondolas literally scare me to death. I've only done it one time and never again.
Me too. Same. Never again.
Never again. I've done it once. I get motion sick, and I did it once with some friends. My first trip to Disney ever, I went on, and I was not prepared. I was like, you guys about to see something you do not want to see. So definitely stationary. Stationary all day long. Yeah.
Perfect. We're on the same page with that one.
Yeah.
The cast member actually called it the spinning wheel of death. It's like, okay, your ride of doom is over. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Just walking away now.
The ride of doom. I like that. It's true. Yeah.
Okay, and you guys talk about lots of different Disney places: Disney Cruise, Walt Disney World, Disneyland. I'm going to make you choose Walt Disney World or Disneyland.
You go.
Oh, I feel like, I really feel like my answer varies. We've missed Disney World tremendously.
Don't sugarcoat it. Just tell them.
It's okay. We can take it.
I think I'm going to say Disney World right now. My answer is Disney World. Only because, Disneyland is so nostalgic, but Disney World, there's so much to do, and there's so many different experiences that you can have there with all the lands and the things that they have going on.
All right.
So right now, in this moment, it's Disney World. It could change.
I did not expect that answer. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have to go Disneyland just from the history, and I think like per square foot, we've got much higher quality, right? So Disneyland has to be very selective with what attractions they have in there. And so I think everything's like a B plus and higher, whereas Disney World, they've got some snoozer.
That's true.
Argue. So,
that is true.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Return on the money you spend, Disneyland. Yeah.
Okay. Our next this or that is going to be more in the Marvel universe here. Okay. Captain America or Iron Man?
Oh, Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Tony Stark. If you could take Tony Stark even separate, I'd go Tony Stark. Like the guy, he's so good.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr. How can you not pick that?
I know. He is Iron Man, really.
He is Iron Man.
He is. Yeah.
It's so true.
Okay, and one more before we get going here. Christmas time or Halloween time?
We talk about this all the time.
We do, and it does. This is one where I get a little flip-floppy on. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go Christmas because of the weather. Like I don't know if anyone listened to our episode on our last trip for Halloween. It was the end of September, and I get SoCal's this warm. It was so hot, and I was very grumpy, like halfway through the trip, and I was like, I can't stand this heat. So I'm gonna go Christmas just because it's cooler.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to do Halloween. There's something about Halloween at Disney. It's just magic. And
agree to disagree.
The big pumpkin and all
I know,
the
it's
characters.
not bad at all.
I love it. Even though it's 95, it's so worth it. Halloween for sure.
It's not 95 every year, but fire season, hotter weather.
Oh
kind of goes.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Very true.
All right, awesome answers. I think we line up on the same page with a lot of those. So perfect.
Yeah. Sweet.
All
We
right,
can be
so
friends then.
those of us just joining, welcome or welcome back. This is Family Travel Folio, a travel blog for family vacation, adventure, and a lot of what we cover is Disney. So we have our special guests here today, Caleb and Caitlyn. They are the podcasters for Market House Podcast. And before I jump into the backstory, kind of a little bit of information on how this got started, what it is, who it's for, all that good stuff. Can you guys tell us a little bit about the name Market House? I admit, like, I'm a huge Disney fan, gone to Disneyland my whole life, and I did not get the connection at first.
Yeah, it is a deep cut, and that was a worry when I first thought of it. I was like, people may not get it. So it's the coffee shop on Main Street in Disneyland. So
The Starbucks.
Mm-hmm. So it used to be called Market House before Starbucks days, before you can get your Frappuccino and your shaken espresso. It was just a boring old place called Market House that sold like drip coffee. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And when Starbucks took over, it became a lot more popular, but the name is still Market House on Main Street. So that's the connection. And the idea of the name was, when we thought of the podcast, it was like, we wanted to be stylized and kind of feel like you're just drinking a cup of coffee with friends and just chatting about Disney. So that was a thought process.
And it's always our first stop too. Like right when we get to the parks, it's like the start of our vacation. We always go there first thing in the morning. Yeah. So it kind of holds like a special place to us.
Which is terrible advice. It's like the worst thing to go to in the morning because it's like 45 minutes long, but we do it anyway. So yeah.
That's perfect. And it totally makes sense. Like once I looked it up, I'm like, oh, I get it now. But I'm not a coffee drinker myself. So I think I just have like a blind spot for the name there. So
Sure.
But awesome. I love it. And it totally works with the vibe you guys have going on. Why don't we jump into your backstory, your origin story, how this all started, what it is. Go ahead and give us an explanation.
So I'll start off, you hop in. But so we were walking around our house. So we were still in COVID times, kind of shut down. The parks had already just reopened, but super, modified and stuff. And so things were just still feeling weird. And I had this we had both been working from home for quite a while and had a lot of extra time on our hands because you really weren't doing anything on the weekends, right? At nighttime because everything was shut down. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to figure out a way to be creative with each other. And again, our love of Disney has been strong since we were children, right? Going to the parks with our parents and all that good stuff. And so I just thought, what's a creative outlet we can do together that we can kind of express our love for Disney? And so a podcast I didn't want to do, YouTube's amazing. I love YouTube. I got mad respect for people that do it. I don't even know if I have the thick enough skin. The internet is mean. And so seeing comments and stuff, I'm forget that noise. So I'm too self-conscious to even do YouTube. So I'm what can I can hide behind a mic on podcasting. So we've chosen podcasting. Yes. And I think it was just a way for us to chat Disney. And again, if people listen, you'd hear just me. And Caitlyn was the brains behind. So the original arrangement was, Caitlyn, you do Instagram because I've got no idea what I'm doing. And I'll do the talking because I like to talk. Yeah. And then 15-ish episodes in, I'm this is terribly boring. I do not want to do this by myself anymore. You need to get on with it. And so then you doing the pod. Yeah. We love it, truly. Again, like Caleb mentioned, we've been Disney fanatics since we've literally been born. Both of our families are obsessed. So this was really a way for us to come together and be creative. And we really were looking for that community of Disney fans, just to be able to create a positive environment where we can just chat. And again, we kind of mentioned, the whole grab a cup of coffee and let's talk all things Disney. That was our motto, because we're all friends and we just want it to be a casual conversation where we can have fun and just talk Disney. Yeah. So,
right. And that's what it is. I find myself talking back to you guys. It's a podcast. Just that's a great villain choice. Really? Why would you go for that one? And it's just super fun. And you guys have a good mix too. You have a good mix of just conversations, but news topics, different tips and advice. So it's a really good mix. That kind of leads us into the next question here. I'm curious, what do you guys feel is a unique feature about your podcast? Because there's a handful of Disney podcasts out there. Sure. What would you say is your claim to fame?
That's a hard one, because I think in the beginning I was definitely modeling. At no point would I want to copycat anybody, right? But when you're first getting started off, it'd say I'm going to model a little bit after this one that I like, right?
Inspiration,
right, inspiration. So you're kind of picking and choosing, and so you create this Frankenstein show, and then you try to make it your own as you get more comfortable. So at this point, I think what I'd kind of pride ourselves on and what we do a little differently is I think what you mentioned, and I'm not going to claim that other people don't do this, but we do definitely want to be like friends and like chill people first that happen to be Disney fans, right? We don't want to lead too much with like, we're Disney freaks and everything they do is amazing and great. And sometimes we lead off with like, I watched a Lord of the Rings show and I really like Lord of the Rings now. Has nothing to do with Disney, but I just want to let you know that. Yeah. And then we have people messaging us about Lord of the Rings. And so I think, we just want to be more of a community of just like positive folks. And then we happen to talk Disney 98% of the time.
Yeah. It's more of like, we didn't start this to inform. It's more of create the relationship with people. So like that community within Disney, just to have friends and to talk about things that we enjoy.
You make it seem like you're my friends.
No, we have friends.
We need to make a show for friends. We're so lonely.
No, we can't express enough how many people just like you who we've met and we talk to almost daily. Yeah. And we enjoy it, and we have so many friends over Instagram, and it's just so enjoyable for us. And I can't say enough how much we love it. So it's great.
That's awesome. And I do like a lot of the shows you do talk are in the Disney universe, but adding Lord of the Rings in there, I mean, as much as people are all about Disney, there's still more to them than 100%. So, and Lord of the Rings is my absolute favorite. So I'm like, yes, that's awesome.
I'm a new fan, so I'm like I'm very newbie when it comes to. And I'm like invested.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, someday Lord of the Rings tour New Zealand. That's on the bucket list.
Oh, yes. That's on our bucket list for sure.
I have a friend that went, and I've seen pictures, and he was like, "It was amazing. Everything you dreamed it was." Yeah.
Oh, so awesome.
I know.
So cool.
Love it. Oh, so exciting. Well, can you walk us through a little bit of your creative process on how you come up with what you even talk about?
Yeah.
And the different segments that you guys have built in? Yes. And you have a new segment too that you just added.
Yes.
Shop the Mouse with Market House.
You got it.
Yes.
Got it. I got it.
Yeah, we're very excited. I was very excited about that one. I wish you guys could have seen me like recording. I just had the biggest smile on my face. I'm like, this is gonna be so fun. But yeah, it's with creative process. We kind of sit with each other and we go, okay, what are people talking about right now? Like, what's important to us? Like, what do we have opinions on? And we normally will like sit in a coffee shop and we'll kind of talk about it because we don't want it to be a boring platform where people are like, that's nice. It's just opinionated. Like, we want it to be fun. So I think bringing that to the table, what people are wanting to hear, as well as what they're looking for, what people are talking about online is super important because you want it to be relevant. And as well as bringing in that fun factor of like, oh, this is enjoyable rather than just a dull conversation.
And I think too, because like even recently we did one where we just said like, let's not, of course, we prep 99% of our episodes, right? We sit down, we write a loose whatever outline of what we want to touch on. And again, normally it's what's in the news and what's coming up that we can, so it's relevant, right? I don't want to like go, hey, we're reviewing a parade that happened in 1987. I don't know how I don't know if many people care about that.
Yeah.
So we want to be as topical as possible. But also not get warped into like, so we did take one episode where we just like put the notes down and said, let's just talk about like how we feel about all the negative press and like, because there's a lot going on
out there right now. Yeah.
Mr. Chapek and what have you. And so we're like, let's just talk about how we feel about it and let's just be real about it. So yeah, I think there's the creative process, honestly, is just us talking about things we'd love to hear ourselves at home. Right. So if something comes out and it's a new show or a new food item, like I want to hear about that. So let's talk about it.
And then we do trivia, which Caleb started, which we have so much fun with trivia.
Yeah.
That goes on. It's hilarious.
I have to step in here because I just listened to your couple recent episodes. Have you really never seen Snow White?
No,
or you just saw it like
I've seen it once, and I think I was like maybe 8 years old. I have not seen it since. I don't remember anything about it. So as you can hear, I did not know anything about it.
Yeah.
That was just mind blowing to me.
And this is why we do trivia, because we get laughs over.
Yeah. Whatever.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah. So it's just little things like that where it's fun. And again, when we do trivia, when people message us like, hey, no, like I guess that, or no, you're so like the Aladdin. With me thinking
Caitlyn was convinced it was an apple.
Yeah.
But it was a loaf of
bread.
Yeah.
And so it's fun.
Yeah. And the Shop the House or Shop the Mouse with Mark. I don't even know what it is yet. That was born out of like, again, like, so when we're making the news, right? We don't need we didn't want a news story every single, because Disney's coming out with merch every minute, right?
Yeah.
You turn on the thing and it's like, oh,
All
it's a
the
new
time.
hat or a new whatever, a new shirt. And then Caitlin's like, can I order it? I'm going to get it. So I was like, every single week we're going to have some kind of merch item. Let's create a whole segment around that. I wanted it to be called like Shop the Mouse with Caitlyn or Shopping with Caitlyn. And she came up with the Shop the Mouse. It was a good fit.
I
So
love it.
I'm glad
Rhymes.
she's
It works. It sticks. Love it. Oh, that's so exciting. And where do you guys just come up with the trivia questions yourself? Like, what's going to stump them? Or let me see, what movie has he not seen?
For sure. It is definitely a mix of like some of the trivia sites, right? Which are like the weirdest. I'm convinced I'm going to get a virus every single time I click on it because it's the weird. It's like A to Z trivia.com. I'm like, so we get some help with that. And then also some movies I love that she hasn't seen, vice versa, of like what would stump her.
We normally try to be fair about it.
That's true.
But sometimes when this one wins every time, I'm like, I'm going to give him some hard questions. But he always knows the hard questions. So
she's got way more movie trivia. I've got more park stuff. So we complement each other that way. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, when you guys are deep diving in the internet for this information, for trivia or news or whatever, what do you find is your favorite outlet to go to? Where do you guys find yourself spending a lot of your deep dive Disney rabbit holes?
Yeah. So I find honestly, Disney Travel Blog used to actually put out back in the day a lot of like factoid articles to probably fill the gap when there was no announcements.
Yeah.
So I've like gone through the archives of them a lot. Caitlin actually loves Disney Food Blog.
Yeah, I love Disney Food Blog.
Yes. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who else we use.
Yeah. And then
Disney Parks, obviously.
Yeah. And then Offhand Disney, I don't know if you've seen his YouTube stuff. They'll do like a 45-minute like deep dive into some random event in Disney history. So those are fantastic resources.
Nice.
Like, yes. But yeah, for sure. And Google News. That's just fantastic.
Yeah. You gotta love Google.
You gotta love Google.
Awesome. Oh, that's so exciting. And if you guys have not listened to their podcast yet, it's fun. It's conversational. It's got a great balance of things. And I love that you guys, you keep it real. So you talk about what's frustrating everybody, but you put a positive spin on it. And you're like, okay, well, think of this side and that side, right, to be frustrated, but this, and so it doesn't leave you just like, angry, upset. It's like, I still want to go to Disneyland. But yeah, you're right on these points. And it's just a good outlet to be like, okay, we're on the same page. We're all in the same kind of mindset right now. So kudos for that, because that's not always common.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thanks. Yeah. And I'll touch on that a little bit. I think, you watch the news, even just local news now, right? It's just filled with like, oh, geez, like, this is going wrong in the world, or this is going on. And it's all true. There's a lot of nasty stuff out there. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's the last thing we want is you leaving with a bad taste in your mouth and going like, oh, wow, thanks for adding on.
Right. Thanks for adding to the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's not one of those things as well where we want to just not talk about it, because then that's not informative at all. But again, talk about it, but then rebound it with, hey, at the end of the day, like, we love Disney.
It still does.
It's Disney Plus. It's frustrating, but we're still gonna go to the park and probably use it once every time we go. So it's good to do positive and negatives, because as we've touched on, people have different experiences every time. Every trip that we go on, the experience is different. So it just matters time of day. So it's just good to talk about all of it. So.
Definitely. Yeah, every trip is so different. Or like who you go with, when you go, the whole mix.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any, you've been doing this podcast for just over a year now, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Do you have any big plans for long-term future, or you just kind of keep going with the flow and see where it takes you?
Yeah, I think the next big thing we want to like dive into, and we just started reaching out to folks, but like we want to start doing interviews on there finally. I think it took us a little bit to even get comfortable, like considering like, can we interview somebody? Like, mad respect to what you do, because like it's intimidating, very intimidating. So
true.
I was like warming up to the fact of like, should we ask some people to like to have on? So we're starting to do that, like kind of send feelers out.
Yeah.
But definitely interview. I've got some like industry connections a little bit with some people that like are former Imagineers and people that have worked at the park. So like I'm looking forward to like maybe interviewing those folks. Let's see if we're lucky enough to get them on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that diving into more interview style and getting some big names just outside of Caleb and Caitlyn.
Yeah. More travel for sure coming up.
Yeah.
And then just more. I'm excited. And again, it makes me so happy talking about it because I'm just so excited to see where it takes us because we're having such a fun time with it. So
I'd love to quit my job, so if we can make that happen.
right. Keep plugging. You guys, Undercover Tourist is your affiliate.
Yes.
So if you guys, I wasn't able to snag the link yet, but if you guys send me the link, I'll post it in the description below. So we can have that there. Family Travel Fully is affiliated with Getaway Today, which is very similar. They're both amazing companies. So if you guys are planning on going, those who are watching, go on your trip, support their podcast, go through Undercover Tourist and get your discount, have a fun trip. And I'll put the link below after you guys send that on to me.
Awesome.
Which brings me to where can they find you if they want to listen in, and then social media?
Yeah, so we're on pretty much any of the major podcasting, whatever you want to call it, podcasting platforms. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, what have you. We're pretty much on it. And
then as far as social media, you can find us on Instagram at Market House Podcast, and then as well on Twitter at Market House Pod. So we're getting both spaces over there. Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then you guys have it set up where if you go to markethousepodcast.com, it'll just take you to a link to all the different
so
all the different platforms to listen.
Correct. And it'll have everything linked there so you can see all of them there. Yep.
Perfect. And then we do have that linked below, Instagram and Twitter linked below in the description as well. Anything else you guys wanted to share while we are here and still have a few minutes?
Can I ask you a couple questions? Are you up for it? Can we reverse it? All right, I'm going to take it now and
flip the roles here.
I'll get practice in, right? All right. How about you? What I could see like you kind of following along with the Disneyland Disney World thought process. If you had to pick right now, where does your love lie?
I have never been to Disney World. I know. I'm a San Diego girl. Grew up in San Diego. Went to college a couple hours away from San Diego. Disneyland is my backyard.
I love it.
Had a season pass in college because I was 30 minutes away from the parks.
So jealous.
It was amazing.
That is unreal.
So we're hoping to do the big Walt Disney World trip in a couple years here.
Nice.
So I've got 2 little girls. So we're hoping to go with the whole family, siblings, their kids, in-laws, my parents.
That'd be awesome.
We're going to try and make it a big thing. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. Lots of planning though.
Tons. And like way more planning than just a backyard Disney trip. Right. Yeah. But like the only suggestion I'd have is do not go. I went with my family in August in Orlando. Oh. You can imagine how like unbelievably hot it was. So like, we like to go in January because it's
January, February time.
It's really nice weather. It might rain a little bit, but it's not like the torrential downpour every day in the summer. Cool weather.
It's so much fun.
It is fun. It is so unique. Again, like there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just big and intimidating.
Yeah. My husband's been there before, and he's from Colombia originally, and so it's easier to go to Walt Disney World from there than to California. I'm just like, well, I need to go. Come on.
Take me. Have you been on a Disney cruise?
I've been on cruises, but not a Disney cruise. That is bucket list. That is we're trying to get Walt Disney World on the books first, and then like the next big splurge save up. I'm gonna push for a Disney cruise.
That would be awesome because you can go out of the one in San Diego because you live right there. That's fantastic.
There's a problem with that though. Is San Diego the stops are not
sure.
I mean, we've done a cruise from San Diego. It goes to Catalina Island and Ensenada, Mexico.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like it. So once you've been there, you've kind of been there. Like we've gone camping on Catalina Island. We've been there multiple times. So
it's like
spending that much money for Disney cruise, like we also want to go somewhere different.
I agree.
That makes sense. Yeah. Castaway Key and stuff's pretty unreal. It's fun.
Well, even the Alaska cruise you guys just went on for Disney. I did Alaska cruise, but it wasn't through Disney. I'm just like, oh my gosh, just adding Disney to that already amazing experience.
It was I mean,
Amazing.
you've heard us go on.
Yeah.
The whole podcast about it.
Yeah. Let me dive in.
They're like,
What?
oh, yeah, Caitlin's going to get on the cruise. It was absolutely stunning. Again, I know you said that you've been, but just Disney is just a whole nother level of service and cleanliness. And it's just, even for an older ship, because it was on the Wonder, just beautiful. And we had such a great time. And even coming back, when you reflect on it, you're like, that was one of the best trips ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
She's like ready to go on another one
I'm
tomorrow.
so
So.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Like, give me 4 years to save up and we'll maybe do it again. So.
Right.
Yeah. That's awesome. What's the next big trip you got coming up? Anything?
We're going, not a Disney cruise, but we are going on a cruise in the Caribbean over spring break for we've got one girl is school age, the other one's still, school breaks don't matter because she's in preschool. she's just 3.
That's awesome.
So we're gonna do that, which will be our girls' first cruise. So
Oh,
we're really
fun.
excited.
Fun. Who are you cruising with?
So I believe it's Royal Caribbean.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
I've
Nice.
cruised with them before. I love them. So
Nice.
mhm.
Yeah,
So
I've heard
that should
nothing
be
but good
good.
things. We've got friends that go on like seriously like 6 cruises a year or something crazy
Mhm.
like that, and they're like
Mhm.
Royal Caribbean
Yeah.
loyalists. So I've heard nothing
Yeah.
but great things. So that's
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
That's exciting.
Yeah. We've done Carnival before too, which
Okay.
was great as well.
Yeah.
I think just comparison would be more budget option
Sure.
Yeah.
between the two ships, but we love cruises, and so I need
That's
to get
awesome.
Disney into the mix there because
Sure.
oh my gosh, just looking at the videos and the new ship and the dining experiences.
I
just
know.
looks
It is unreal, but then I totally get it. I get I 100% get the hesitation of like when you compare, Carnival, Royal, all of them, and then you're like, is it really worth 3 times? It's unbelievable. But
Yeah.
we can go on about how like, well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have the unique balance too because my husband he enjoys Disney, but he's not Disney obsessed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's me. I'm the nerd. I'm
Got
the Disney, Lord
Yep.
of the Rings, Harry Potter, like
Oh,
Yep.
Harry Potter.
totally into all of that. And
Yeah. I
he's
love
like,
it.
oh yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's fine.
I'll
We're
go.
not spending that much money again yet.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit to recover.
Yeah, no, I understand.
So we balance each other out a little
Yeah.
bit.
I get that. We'll get him convinced one day. We'll get.
Right.
That's awesome.
How exciting. And you guys have a couple trips coming up yourself as well.
We do. Yeah, we're doing Disneyland again. We usually try and go for her birthday in January, so we're doing that. And then
Possibly Disney World. When next
we'll
spring?
see. Yeah,
spring.
they released some crazy promo things, so we're
Yeah.
looking into that. We'll see if we
Nice.
can finagle one in.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll
Yeah.
work it work. And then definitely doing a cruise in 24. So when they release
Nice.
those dates, we'll be on in a year and a half. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Oh, how exciting.
yeah, it'll be good. Well, maybe we can get your husband convinced enough to join us on that.
Yeah.
Right? There we
24
go.
Let's do it. All right.
plan a Disney cruise. Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
So cool. Well, thank you guys so much for agreeing to chat with us.
Of course.
And,
Thanks for having us.
This is the same link that the replay will be on. So it's live
Okay.
through YouTube, but then it's just going to save as a full video and just be on
Awesome.
the same link. So
Awesome.
we'll be sharing little snippets on Instagram, and
Perfect.
yeah, congratulations and good luck with next year's podcasts. We'll be listening in for sure.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much. And you too.
Yeah, thank you again. We appreciate
Yes.
the opportunity to be on here with you.
Yes.
And talking with us.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.